Market update here on the 30th. Let's go over Tesla first. I have a few requests in this video. Tesla isn't a WXY move. WX, ABC, W. And then this part is somewhat tricky. I think that I actually did this wrong when I was trading it today. For some reason, I had this as an impulse. But now that I'm looking at it after hours, this is not an impulse. For some reason, I saw this as 1, 2, and I had the parallel line going through this. It looked like an impulse 100% when I was trading it earlier, but I looked at it completely wrong somehow. Anyway, we have ABC here, down. That's W. Then this is the part that's tricky, but more than likely, the move this morning is the end of the X wave. And so this is WX, which means we should get an ABC move down. So let's go on this small move higher here from the bottom. It could have gone two different ways. It could have been, and I've seen this before on Tesla, it could have been A, B, C, B, and then shot up here like that. Or it's just a simple ABC move, A, B, C, and then this is the A wave down. And it looks like that is probably the case now. Because if we take a parallel line here, it does not break the parallel line. However, the reason this is kind of annoying is this right here hit the 1.61 fib, broke the parallel line. So when I was trading this, I was looking for fourth wave pullback, another move higher. Instead, it just chopped sideways, came down here to like 398, and that should be the end of it, because it went from 9 o'clock all the way up here to 12 o'clock. The rest of the day was just down. There's two different ways this can go from here. It either goes straight down from here. So this is A. This would be B. And then this would be 1, 2, and we just get continuation tomorrow or the next day down here. And we make that ABC move to complete WXY. It would likely break this parallel line and probably go down to like 367. So either that happens or we get another move higher and it goes like this and then comes down. So on that one, it would likely be an ABC move to the upside too, and then X would be up here. So I'm not sure which one. This stock's all over the place lately, and these corrective moves are pretty tough. But I do think that overall we are in an X wave here. So the whole thing is ABC, ABC, ABC basically, WXY, ABC, whatever, down here to like 360, 365 or so. Tesla is really annoying when it's in these corrective moves because it can do a lot of different things. And then today, like, it looked like it was going to be an impulse. It's up to 408, 409, and then it shoots back down here to 398. And then all of a sudden you're like, what the heck is going on? So I traded it a little bit today. I did good in the morning, and then I messed up. I didn't mess up, but I lost some money on this move right here because I was hedging some puts that I bought with a long position, and I got stopped out here. And then I sold puts too, so I did a lot of different things. If it goes up tomorrow, I'll probably buy back those, and I'll add a put. So tough stock. Let's look at the after-hour move that we had on the earnings, because it was brought up that I never use this, but it is interesting to follow because it's a completely different chart here. If that were the case and this actually mattered, this would be wave 1 potentially, wave 2, or it could be A, B, C, B, C like that, and then go higher like that. But on the regular chart, we don't see that at all. We didn't get that move at all. So I'll be watching the extended hours too, and if it makes more sense, maybe I'll start factoring that into my analysis more. For right now, I just use the regular trading hour charts. But if it makes more sense to do that, then I'll have to add it in there. I think it makes more sense just on the indexes right now. But Tesla does have a lot of volume. So Tesla might be one of the stocks that it makes a lot of sense to do that on. NVDA would be another one. Really any of the tech stocks. But mostly Tesla, NVIDIA, maybe Apple. Yeah, those three, maybe Meta too. So anyway, tomorrow we're going to find out if this is still in an X wave or it's going to continue down here. But I think we're in the final stretch. It still needs to come down, I think. This is a very, very sloppy move. I don't think it's just going to all of a sudden be a second wave and go up here now. I think we need to finish it off to the downside. And I think the overall market's going to go to the downside. So it's a matter of if Tesla makes one more high and then comes down, or just continues down from here. I had a request for cake. I just think that this is in a rising wedge. A, B, C, D, E, like that. You can see how it's getting smaller and smaller as it rises. And within this move, it could be two different things. It could be A, B, C, and then go up, or it could just continue up. How will you know which one? This wave right here looks to me like it's in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I would be watching the end of this formation right here, because that could make it also an extended C wave. And let's say it double tops here. You have to watch after that, because it could come back down right here and then go up. Or it continues up from here and it just goes 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3, 4, and 5 like that. So I think higher short term, at least, probably a pullback and then at least one more move higher. And then from there, it could pull back all the way or continue to go higher. But I think it's a rising wedge. You can see it pretty clearly. So that's cake. The other one was honest. And on honest, I think that this is probably an ABC move as well. The 1.61 fib could be a 5-wave move too. But the 1.61 fib is right by this gap fill at 1333. You have a gap below. I think that this is super bullish right now. I just would not want to see it cross back into 469. And then I would not want to see it lose the 50 on the weekly and the 200 on the daily, which is, they're both at 434 right now. So ideally, this just goes higher from here. It just goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, potentially up to 13 bucks. And this might even be a nested move here when I'm looking at it here. If I really got into it, I don't trade this stock. I don't know that much about it, but maybe it's just a diagonal to start. I think it's probably a diagonal. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, potentially fifth wave up like that. If it can break the parallel line, then maybe it's a third wave. Otherwise, it's probably just going to go to the 1.61 fib. But overall, it's bullish right now. Yeah, and you're to the downside right now too. It's sold off from $9, so I think it can go higher. So that is honest, cake, and Tesla so far. NVIDIA. Here's another example of the difference between extended hours and regular hours. So on extended hours, I'll also watch this one on extended hours. Extended hours, it already made a wave too, but it ended up being, that would actually end up being a wave A. A, B, C, B, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for a second wave. And then I'd be looking for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 down. So this is definitely bearish. And I actually think that it makes a lot of sense either way, that this is probably going to come down here to 110. So that's extended hours. It actually looks better on extended hours. Let's go to regular hours. It's the same thing, basically. This part just didn't come up at all. It didn't go to the 127 for the A wave. The A wave is shorter, so it went A, B, C right here. So I think that NVIDIA is a short here still. You can see how this looks very, very bear flag-ish. Because you have right here, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, A, B, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2. So let's just see where this would go. If that is a first wave, second wave, then I'd be looking for 114.50. Basically starting tomorrow. Maybe it goes a little bit higher. And it's down after hours. 117. And it's probably going to go right to that 110 area. Yep, right to 110, maybe like 108. And then that should be completion of 5 waves. So based on this, this should complete going into earnings. I think this will be completed probably in the next like week or so. And then I'd be super bullish on it. Because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe get a bounce out of this demand zone, pull back into earnings, and then we're going to come up here, back up here to 140. So NVIDIA, whether you look at it on regular trading hours or extended hours, looks bearish to me. Invalidation is above the recent high of 129. So yeah, I'm pretty bearish on this right now. Microsoft has a gap up here at 442. I bought some today at 416. Just kind of a spur of the moment thing. I took a look at it. I haven't looked at it a lot lately. Didn't really care. I just know that this is an easy trade when it's fallen this much in this short a period of time. But I will, if it does break below 411, I would probably consider taking the loss. It's just hard to take a loss when the stock is, look at this. It's the bottom of the standard deviation too. It's an easy buy for me. So I think that Microsoft maybe has a little bit more downside, similar with the NVIDIA, and then it's going to take off higher. So I think it's still a buy down in here. And yeah, let's go over QQQ. Pretty much doing exactly what is expected here. It might have already started the move down too. We're going to find out tomorrow whether, it looks like it probably did, to be honest, but it could do something like this up here to 528 and then come down, or it already started it right here, the move down. So again, I went over NQ in the last video and showed, and this is one thing that I'm going to be looking at a lot. One of the followers pointed this out, and it put some stuff into my head about these demand zones. We already hit this demand zone in regular or in extended hours. So my question is, Is this demand zone valid anymore? I haven't asked anybody because we didn't hit it really during regular hours, but in extended hours we hit it. And if you look at where this is potentially going, even if we go up here to 528, it could come down here to 497. It would go right through that demand zone. So it's a very valid question. I'm very curious to see when we fall down here if this demand zone matters or not. And if it goes right through it, then I'm going to start using extended hours and looking at supply and demand through that. And if it's already been hit in extended hours, I'm probably not going to put as much emphasis in it during the regular hours, if that makes sense. So we'll see, but on NQ, it's the same chart as extended hours. It already hit that area. And if we make one more low, it should come down here to like 497, 498, and then that would be the end of it. So this is basically what I'm looking for, and then we go up. So we did not fill that gap yet in extended hours or in regular hours. That's why I still kind of favor a little bit the upside, but then again, you look at NVDA and you see that it's pretty much done, maybe a little bit higher. Tesla, again, could go either way. Microsoft, though, is close to the bottom. And what else do we have here? So yeah, that's pretty much my thoughts on a lot of those tech stocks. Apple had earnings today. It's up after hours. Makes sense. It was at the bottom of this channel, bounced out of there. It's probably going up here to 250. And where is this at right now? So yeah, this is at 524. This is probably going to fill the gap. 528 and then come down because it makes sense with Apple here. 244. You have a supply zone up here at 250. This is probably going to go wave 1 up here, pull back all the way to 225 for wave 2, and then take off. Like that. So yeah, I would imagine we fill that gap tomorrow. They'll probably get it done tomorrow, and then after that, we can go down here to 500 or less. Baba. So this is not trade after hours, or what's the deal? I don't know why it doesn't show up on extended hours. Baba, so it went a little bit higher. I sold in here. It went right to where I said 104 was my max target. Where did I get that from? I got that from right there, 1.61 fib. Went a little bit higher than it. It's pulling back a little bit. I would be out, to be honest. But it could go to 106. So I probably sold maybe $5 or $6 too early. 106 is possible, but the market's going to pull back hard. And now you have gaps below. So you have gaps. Well, I guess you don't have a gap. I thought you had a gap right there. It's a gap at 82 bucks. But if it does what I think it's going to do, it could go all the way back down here to the low 70s. 106 would be best because then it could come down here to just like 75 bucks again. And then when it goes back to 75 bucks, then I think it breaks out. I don't think this is the breakout. We'll find out. Because the next breakout is the one that I think everybody's talking about right now. And that's the one where we go up here to potentially like 160. This is the only impulse that I saw. And 160 is the 1.61 fib. This is just a very long drawn out WXY move. and then we should be getting that. I'd be surprised if it just happened right now. Keep on getting asked about HIMS, and it has gone higher than I expected. But let's look at where the 1.61 fib is. Right there. So it's right at the top of the fib, right when I'm saying that the market's probably going to pull back hard. And this looks very, very corrective to me. So I still expect this. It doesn't have to come all the way down here. It basically already hit this demand zone. Maybe there's a better demand zone now. Let's look at the demand zones on this. Yeah, there's a demand zone right here. So it might not go all the way back down to 24 bucks. It could just come down to 28 bucks. That's your next demand zone right there. So I think it needs to pull back here. It still looks like it's in a B wave to me. And I'm on a regular chart. Let me go back to log. Here's what I'm looking for still. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, A, B, C, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up here. I still think it can go up here to 50 bucks. But I do think we need one more pullback to at least 28 bucks. Do a SoFi video here later. AMD is just kind of sitting there. Okay, coin, real quick. Coin, it went right into this demand zone again. I think this can pull back here to the gap fill at 255. It never actually came down into this demand zone, so it could be coming down there next when the market falls. Bitcoin is the same thing. Bitcoin is the exact same thing. It looks to me like it's finishing up a C wave of the overall B wave. A, B, C, B, C wave down. Probably in a second wave though. So after that, I would look for 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 higher. I would look for like maybe 95 to 97,000 maybe on the next move lower. What else are we looking at? Intel had earnings. I don't like this stock at all. I know nobody likes it really, but I think it could go all the way down to 12 bucks. If you look at going back to, I need to save this so it keeps on putting me in regular. So if you go back here to this whole move right here. So we have A down, B right here, and it's in some kind of corrective move here. So A, B, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold on. This is why I don't like it. It's just not very flowing movement. It should be overextended, but I think it can come all the way down here to 12 bucks, potentially. But I don't know how the earnings went. The earnings, it's up right now, so maybe the earnings went really well. So Intel, not going to really go into that one that much. I don't like that stock. Anything else? Shop. I think this is just going up here to 136. It's a WXY move. And the 1.61 fib is actually at 141. I think this is going to 141. ELF, let's see how that's going. It's at 107. How is the 5-wave move going? It's probably started that 4th wave. And we're still going to get that 5th wave down here to 90 to 84 bucks. And then that's going to be a buy, similar to NVDA actually. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then retrace back up here to 170. ELF is a buy down here, 100%, but you do not want to see it lose the 200 on the weekly at 85 bucks. In phase, still waiting for this to pop. And it's kind of in a weird spot because we have earnings coming up. That's going to be a catalyst for sure. But it's in a weird spot because the market's supposed to pull back here soon really hard. But I still see this as a B wave. I don't see this any way this could be an impulse down. Zero chance. ABC, ABC. Then we get this big move down. This should 100% be coming back up here to 71 to 76 bucks. If it were to break down, then I would just be like, okay, whatever, this is ridiculous. But yeah, again, I'm kind of on the fence, but I'll probably honestly be selling some up in here, depending on when it happens. I want to see it go all the way up here, but the way it's been going doesn't really feel like it's going to do that. That'd be such a big move. That'd be a 30 or 40% move. So I'll be happy if it comes up in here. My average is like around 70. So I'll probably sell some in here for sure. 71 to 76 bucks. Because there's still a chance it goes like this down to 50. If it goes all the way up here to this gap fill, then I'd be more likely to hold some. Even though that doesn't really make that much sense. But the reason is because that would likely be a third wave. And I would expect a pullback and another move higher after that. Starbucks hit a pretty big move last couple days. I had a question about new holdings. In previous videos, I think I had a note in there. I said do not sell until minimum 1350. And it hit 1350 today. I sold some. Why did I sell? Well, it looked to me like a 5-wave move, and I was holding, I bought some in the 10s, so I had already made a pretty good profit, and I was actually looking for this to be potentially just a retrace for a second wave. So I was thinking that potentially this is already finished with 5 waves, but we'll see. Maybe it's an extension. Let's just go over supply and demand. So this was a weekly demand zone. Get rid of that now. The next supply zone is up here at 14 bucks to 16.09. That is probably like a 3-day supply zone, maybe just a daily. No, actually, right here is the next supply zone right here, 1350 to 1446. So actually, you want to be selling into this. And then after that, if it were to get through that, you'd be want to be selling up here between 15.20 and 16.14. So sell into this. It's looking like a 5-wave move though right now. From the bottom, this is a 5-wave move. So potentially this is actually a wave 1. Right into a supply zone. So I'd be looking for this over the next couple of weeks. Back down here and then take off with the overall market. So potentially an extension, but I would be selling if you're trying to trade this. If you're long and you wanted to hold this investing wise, I wouldn't be doing anything because it looks like it's going to at least have one more move higher to probably up here to 15, 16 bucks minimum. And if you're lucky, it could go all the way up to probably 20 bucks. So that's new holdings. And I've gone over a lot. What else do we have here? Anything else? Not off the top of my head and not in my search. I think I'm going to leave it at that for now. Let me know in the comments if you have any other stocks you want me to look at. But that is it for now. Have a good night, and I will talk to you soon. In the next update, I might do a SoFi video.